Are you ready to punch fear in the nose? Bam! If you are, keep watching. Hi, I'm Angie Alves Anderson, and I am a mentor, a coach. I am the founder of I Believe in Me Mentoring for Women and Girls and Fear Shattering Conferences. Whew, that was a mouthful. So, what am I here to talk to you about today? I'm here to talk to you about fear and about you punching it right square dead in its nose because it is controlling you, it's dictating you, it's bullying you. Aren't you tired of letting it rule you? It is time for you to take control, and that's why you got to put your boxing glove on just like I did, and you get into your boxing position and you give it a good whack across the nose, and I'm going to teach you how. Now, when I'm working with my mentees, I am teaching them that they have to become self-aware, because that is the first key to success. If you don't know who you are, you'll take anything. You're like out in the middle of the ocean, bobbing up and down. You don't know which way to go. Whatever way the wind blows, that's what you go. You become desperate and you're thinking, oh, I'll just take this person, get myself involved with that one, or do this or do that. And all of that is to your detriment because you don't know who you are. But when you know who you are, when you know what your purpose is, when you know what your passion is and you connect with it, then you get to dictate what is good for you, who you should bring into your life. And if someone decides to walk away, no big deal, because people are like a bus. You lose one, you miss one, another one comes along, and sometimes better than before. So in this video, let's talk about something that we all wrestle with, and that is fear. Fear is what can cripple us, that can keep us stuck in our own mess. And we don't even realize it sometimes. Let's take fear. Most people think that fear is an emotion, that it is a feeling, and it's neither. It is a collection of experiences that's grounded in our imagination and based on our interpretation of it. It's false evidence appearing real. All right? So when you look at fear, then you say, okay, so what's the big deal about it? Well, fear is very powerful because it paralyzes and it cripples you and it keeps you stuck. Say disappointment, for an example. Disappointment and discouragement are children of fear, two of them, twins, and they work together to keep you stuck. The first thing that happens, let's say that you were trying out for a cheerleading squad, right? And you've practiced and you've done all the steps, and then it's the day that they're going to post the names of those who have been selected, and you know that it's going to be you, and it's like a hit in the solar plexus when you look on the poster board to see if your name is there, and it's not. And at first you start thinking, it must be a mistake. I did everything right. I attended all the practices. How could they not pick me? Or maybe it's a guy, you're involved with this person and you've had so many duds, and this one here appears to be just so right. And you're like, oh, finally, my happy ever after. And then they just bounce off. And you're like, what happened? What did I do? And you begin to think, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm not good enough. And you become discouraged. You don't try out again for any sports. You don't try out next year for cheerleading because you're discouraged. That's how disappointment works first, and then discouragement sets in. You say, I'm never going to date anyone again because I keep picking up with these duds, and I thought this one was going to work out and it didn't. Now you're discouraged. And so you sit there and you're stuck. And this is what you say to yourself when you're stuck. I don't need no man. I don't need to be bothered with anybody. I can do bad by myself. I can take care of me and anything that comes along. Well, that's not true, because inside you want to connect with someone, because that's how God made us. He made us to connect, to belong to one another. We're social animals. So when you say that and you get stuck because you're discouraged, then what happens is that it just becomes monumental. And you take it personally, and then you're just suffering and you're miserable. So here's the tips on how to deal with disappointment and discouragement. Number one, do not globalize the disappointment. Don't make it bigger than what it is. It happened. Don't go and say, oh, okay, it's me. I'm not good enough. I never get anything. No, it happened. Accept it. And maybe the person that you wanted, they didn't want you. That's okay. You can't be for everybody. You didn't get picked for the team. Maybe there was somebody else that was more qualified. But you got to minimize disappointment. Number two, don't take it personally. Don't go and say, oh, I'm not good enough, because that's what fear does. It whispers in your ear and it starts telling you you're not good enough. You never will be. Nobody wants you. That's personalizing it. Again, if it's a relationship, maybe that person had an issue with commitment, or maybe they hadn't finished the relationship that they had with someone else. And again, maybe there were more qualified people. It's just that's what happens. But you should use that as fuel to move forward, not get stuck in your discouragement. The other thing that I want you to know is learn from it. If you were in a bad relationship, learn from how not to get back into that type of relationship. If it's a job or cheerleading or whatever it is, learn from that. Because see, every time we fail at something, there is success on down the road. That's if you don't get discouraged and stay stuck. If you stay stuck, you miss out. And the stuck becomes an obstacle and you're all enclosed in. What you have to do is bam, and punch that down, because that's fear whispering and talking all in your ears. You got to knock it down and take those obstacles and turn them into opportunities, honey. There is a whole world out there waiting for you. You know that you are bright, you are beautiful, that you are a gold mine. And just because somebody didn't recognize that, that's their problem. No need to worry about that. You move on, because now you know who you are. You know that you are created for greatness. That's why it's important for you to become aware of self, so that you can see that the core of your well-being is all about the relationship that you have, not with everybody else, but who and what you have with yourself. And so I know that you have wrestled with disappointment and you've been discouraged. It's time to, bam, knock it down, because that's a child of fear. And you have to knock it down and put it in its place. It's okay to be disappointed, because sometimes that can be the fuel that will level you up. You understand what I'm saying? So in next week's video, I'm going to continue to talk to you about more of fear's children and how it has a major impact on your life. I thank you so much for watching. You have a pleasant day, and you take some time to sit down and get to know you. You will see that you are awesome, amazing, fierce, fearless, unstoppable woman. I'll talk to you later. Bye.